Trying to trace some driveline vibes? Let's change the transmission mount. Hey everybody, it's Jason with Heap of Jeep. A couple of videos ago we changed the motor mounts in the 1990, the Renix. So today I think we're going to do the transmission mount. Ideally you should do all three at the same time. It's been a couple of weeks but this hasn't been driven, so no harm, no foul. But let's change the transmission mount in a 1990 Cherokee. Before we get to that, if you'd please click subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is support the transmission because we're going to be pulling off the cross member which holds the transmission up. It's a floor jack with a 2x4 on top of it. Now we're not jacking up the vehicle with it, we're just taking the pressure off, or taking some of the weight off so that when we drop the cross member it doesn't come down. Okay, so the transmission mount is held down to the cross member by 4 bolts. And it's in these 4 holes here, and they're 13 millimeter, and a little extension will help you out, but we gotta get those loosened up first. Okay, these are the bolts for the cross member. Well, there's actually 1 bolt and 1 nut, and they're 15 millimeter. Let's try the old wrench on the end of the wrench trick. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure how heavy this cross member is, so I took just a couple of jack stands and placed it under there just so it doesn't come crashing down uncontrollably. Okay, so with those 4 bolts in the middle out and these 4 on the sides, or 2 on each side, this cross member should be free. Make sure your transmission is supported, and let's see if we can lower this thing. It's not too unbearably heavy. Now that's the transmission mount, and that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to come out with this piece. But we gotta go in and get the other half out now. Well, with the transmission mount coming delaminated or whatever, it makes it real easy to get in here. There's 2 18 millimeter bolts. There's 1 on each side holding it to your transmission, but that normally stays right in there like that, and this one came apart. Alright, well, first thing you notice is the rubber just came right apart on the old mount here. And I was expecting to see a big height difference. There really isn't. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch on the new one. But this obviously wasn't doing anything to keep the transmission from bouncing around in there. So with the new one mounted in place, we can put the cross member back up. And on this one, they put these little protective plastic sleeves over the the studs sticking down there, so you got to make sure you take those off, otherwise your bolts aren't going back on. And one of the problems I'm having is I got the cross member back up on the transmission mount bolts, but these that attach to the frame rail are about 1/4 of an inch off, maybe a 1/2 inch off, so it's going to take some persuasion to get those back into place. So I'm going to try raising the jack up just a little bit, see if that'll help align the bolts. Then with both sides of the cross member tight, we need to get the actual transmission mount tight, because we just sort of left that loose and hanging. Now we can get our jack out of the way. And that, as they say, is that. I did not expect to see this when I took it off, but I'm glad I did decide to do it, even though from underneath, the rubber you can see, you know, doesn't look bad. A little compressed, but not too bad, but the fact that it's not, yeah. I got my mount from Rock Auto. It was like 10 bucks. Plus a little bit in shipping, but it still came out cheaper than the 30 or 40 bucks that they wanted locally at the auto parts store. So Rock Auto wins again on that one. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the Heap of Jeep channel. We got lots more coming up on this 1990 and my 1996.